Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm your host, Ellen, and today we have 100 trivia questions for you. Let's take a look at our Quiz Class awards. And here they are. Let us know how you rank in the comments at the end, along with the answer to the bonus question. And our categories for today. Famous explorers for question number 1. Which famous explorer was the first European to reach India by sea, opening the sea route from Europe to Asia? Vasco da Gama. Who led the first expedition to circumnavigate the globe? Ferdinand Magellan. Which Italian explorer is credited with discovering the New World in 1492? Christopher Columbus. Which explorer is known for his travels to Asia and writing about the wonders of the Silk Road? Marco Polo. Who was the first European to see the Pacific Ocean after crossing the Isthmus of Panama? Vasco Núñez de Balboa. Which English explorer is known for his 3 voyages to the Pacific Ocean? James Cook. Who discovered the Hudson River while searching for a Northwest Passage? Henry Hudson. Who is credited with the discovery of the Mississippi River in 1541? Hernando de Soto. Which Portuguese explorer was the first to sail around the southern tip of Africa, known as the Cape of Good Hope? Bartolomeu Diaz. Who was a Spanish explorer that led an expedition that caused the fall of the Aztec Empire? Hernan Cortés. Which explorer claimed Canada for France and is known for exploring the St. Lawrence River? Jacques Cartier. Who was the first European to explore Florida, searching for the mythical Fountain of Youth? Juan Ponce de Leon. Which Norwegian explorer was the first to reach the South Pole in 1911? Roald Amundsen. Who was the famous Italian explorer after whom the Americas were named? Amerigo Vespucci. Which English sea captain is known for his circumnavigation of the globe from 1577 to 1580? Francis Drake. Who was the Spanish conquistador that led the expedition to conquer the Inca Empire in Peru? Francisco Pizarro. Which French explorer is known as the father of New France and founded the city of Quebec? Samuel de Champlain. Who was the first European explorer to set foot on New Zealand and map parts of Australia? Abel Tasman. Which expedition did Lewis and Clark undertake at the request of President Thomas Jefferson? To find a direct water route across North America. Which explorer is known for crossing the entire African continent and discovering the source of the Nile River? David Livingstone. And let's move over to the Silk Road for question 21. What was the primary purpose of the Silk Road? Trade and cultural exchange. Which luxury item was most famously transported along the Silk Road? Silk. The Silk Road connected which two major regions? Europe and Asia. Which ancient city was a major hub along the Silk Road, known for its trade in silk, spices, and gemstones? Samarkand. What was one of the main dangers faced by traders traveling the Silk Road? Sandstorms and bandits. Which Chinese dynasty is credited with opening the first trade routes of the Silk Road? The Han Dynasty. Which religion spread significantly along the Silk Road, reaching as far as China? Buddhism. What commodity besides silk was commonly traded from China along the Silk Road? Porcelain. The Silk Road was not a single road, but a network of routes. Which desert did many of these routes cross? The Gobi Desert. What modern-day country was historically part of the main Silk Road route and home to the ancient city of Merv? Turkmenistan. Which Italian merchant and explorer famously traveled the Silk Road? Marco Polo. Which empire played a significant role in facilitating trade along the Silk Road during its height? The Mongol Empire. Which Chinese explorer led expeditions along the maritime Silk Road, helping to establish trade by sea? Zheng He. What was the impact of the Silk Road on European cuisine? Introduction of spices like cinnamon and pepper. Which precious stone, highly valued in Europe, was commonly traded from India via the Silk Road? Diamond. What was one significant cultural exchange that occurred because of the Silk Road? The spread of papermaking technology to Europe. Which famous conqueror's empire encompassed much of the Silk Road, facilitating safe passage of traders? Genghis Khan. The term Silk Road was coined in the 19th century by which German geographer? Ferdinand von Richthofen. What type of goods did traders from the West bring to the East along the Silk Road? Silver, wool, and glassware. What was one of the major reasons for the decline of the Silk Road in the 15th century? The discovery of sea routes to Asia. Ancient Egyptian rituals. For our next category, what was the purpose of the opening of the mouth ceremony in ancient Egypt? To restore the deceased senses in the afterlife. Which ritual was performed to prepare the body for the afterlife in ancient Egypt? Mummification. What did ancient Egyptians place inside canopic jars during the mummification process? Internal organs like the liver and lungs. During the weighing of the heart ceremony, what was the heart weighed against? The feather of Ma'at. What was the Feast of the Valley ritual intended to honor in ancient Egypt? The spirits of deceased relatives. Which ritual involved Egyptians writing spells and placing them in tombs to protect the deceased in the afterlife? The Book of the Dead. What was the purpose of leaving food, drink, and other offerings in tombs of the deceased? To nourish the deceased soul in the afterlife. Which animal was commonly mummified as part of rituals to honor the goddess Bastet? Cats. What was the purpose of the ritual called the Festival of Opet? To renew the power of the pharaoh and the god Amun. What was the purpose of the Heka rituals in ancient Egypt? To invoke divine protection through magic. And let's move over to the Age of Enlightenment. What was the central idea of the Age of Enlightenment? Emphasis on reason, science, and individualism. Which philosopher is often called the father of the Enlightenment for his advocacy of freedom of speech and religious tolerance? Voltaire. The concept of separation of powers in government was introduced by which Enlightenment thinker? Montesquieu. Which Enlightenment thinker proposed the idea of the social contract? John Locke. The Age of Enlightenment is also known by what other term? The Age of Reason. Which book by Adam Smith laid the foundations for modern economics during the Enlightenment? The Wealth of Nations. What was the main goal of Enlightenment thinkers when questioning traditional authority? To promote rational thought and human rights. Who wrote Candide, a satirical novel that criticizes the optimism of the Enlightenment era? Voltaire. Which Enlightenment philosopher argued for women's rights in A Vindication of the Rights of Woman? Mary Wollstonecraft. What was one major impact of the Enlightenment on religion? The rise of secularism and questioning of religious dogma. Which country is considered the birthplace of the Enlightenment movement? France. What significant literary work by Denis Diderot aimed to compile human knowledge during the Enlightenment? The Encyclopedia. Enlightenment ideas were a major influence on which major political event? The French Revolution. What scientific method became popular during the Enlightenment for gaining knowledge about the natural world? The scientific method. Which Enlightenment thinker is famous for the quote, "I think, therefore I am"? René Descartes. Which American document was heavily influenced by Enlightenment ideals of democracy and individual rights? The Bill of Rights, the Magna Carta, or the Declaration of Independence? The Declaration of Independence. Who was the Scottish philosopher known for his skepticism and empiricism, influencing the Enlightenment? David Hume. What was the general Enlightenment view of human nature? Humans are rational beings capable of self-improvement. Who is the German philosopher known for his work Critique of Pure Reason, which explored the limits of human understanding? Immanuel Kant. Which artistic movement was heavily influenced by the Enlightenment's focus on reason and clarity? Neoclassicism. And let's move to the history of cheese. What is believed to be the origin of cheesemaking? It was accidentally discovered by storing milk in animal stomachs. Which ancient civilization is credited with developing the art of cheesemaking? The Egyptians. In which region was cheesemaking depicted in murals dating back to 2000 BCE? Ancient Egypt. What role did cheese play in ancient Roman society? It was a staple food for soldiers and travelers. During the Middle Ages, who primarily preserved and innovated cheese-making techniques? Monks in monasteries. Which cheese is believed to be one of the oldest types still produced today? Roquefort. What was the primary reason for the rise of hard cheeses in the Middle Ages? They had a longer shelf life. How did cheese production change during the Industrial Revolution? The first cheese factories were established. What is rennet, an essential ingredient in cheesemaking? An enzyme that curdles milk. Which European country is known for inventing blue cheese by accident, according to legend? France. What cheese was reportedly a favorite of Julius Caesar and served to his army? Pecorino Romano. Which invention in the 19th century helped standardize cheese production? Pasteurization. In which period did cheesemaking spread across Europe with the help of monks? The Middle Ages. What cheese is known as the king of cheeses due to its historical importance in Italian cuisine? Parmesan. What was the primary reason for the development of different cheese varieties in Europe? Differences in climate and local milk quality. Which U.S. state is known as the cheese capital of the world? Wisconsin. What was unique about cheese consumption in ancient Greece? It was typically consumed with wine and bread. What ancient cheese-making technique involved wrapping cheese in grape leaves? To enhance flavor and preserve freshness. The creation of which cheese is tied to the legend of a shepherd leaving milk in a cave and finding it transformed days later? Roquefort. What cheese-related tradition originated in the town of Cheddar in England? Storing cheese in caves for aging. And for question 91, pick one. Which stereotype about the French is true? The French often eat snails as a delicacy. Which stereotype about the British is true? The British traditionally have tea time in the afternoon. Which stereotype about Italians is true? Italians often talk with their hands while speaking. Which stereotype about Canadians is true? They are known for being excessively polite. Which stereotype about Australians is true? Australians frequently say "Good day, mate." Which stereotype about Americans is true? They celebrate Thanksgiving as a national holiday. Which stereotype about Germans is true? They are known for their punctuality and efficiency. Which stereotype about Japanese culture is true? Bowing is a common form of greeting in Japan. Which stereotype about the Swiss is true? They are known for making high-quality watches and chocolate. Which stereotype about Spanish people is true? They enjoy taking a midday nap called a siesta. And our bonus question in ancient Egyptian mummification: what was the purpose of placing a scarab amulet over the heart of the deceased? Let us know the answer in the comments, as well as your ranking with our Quiz Class Einstein rewards. As always, thanks for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.